everybody. Welcome, welcome. Miss you so much. Let me know if the music be poppin'. So, let me tell y'all something. By the way, say hi in chat so that I can brag about you and how awesome you are. Let me tell you all about last week. Last week, I was supposed to be back to live streaming. The week before I had to cancel because I was sick. Last week, technically, I was still sick. However, I still wanted to stream, even if it was just to, vibe and get some work done. I thought I was streaming. I thought I was streaming for a solid 2 hours. And then my friend Jen told me after the stream, hey, I was waiting for the stream to start like the entire time. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I saw that she had sent a message in chat. Hello, it's my friend Jamie. I saw that she sent a message in chat being like, let's go. She's like, yeah, the stream never started. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I went to my subscriber feed on my alt account, and I saw that the stream still hadn't started. So I was essentially talking to air for 2 hours with a sore throat. All that is to say, I did stream last week, or at least I played pretend. I also completely forgot to send out the email reminder to all y'all who are part of the mailing list. So it was a great week, is what I'm saying. Sorry, my place is filled with gnats right now. Anyway, to catch y'all up to speed on what we be doing right now. We're working on the wireframes for the redo of my site so that we can make room for a lot of other products that I plan to offer in the future. So for instance, I'm going to be restructuring my services page to give a little bit of context to buyers as to how they could utilize me, not just what I can do for them. And that's going to be split up potentially into a solution section and an offering section. An offering section being, here's why I describe what I can do for you, and a solution section meaning, here's how it might benefit your business. And then eventually I'm going to offer a library of digital products, whether it be the DIY consulting app that we've been doing. Thank you, Jen. I am very cute. You are correct. Anyway, so eventually I'm going to be launching the DIY web consult app, which, to remind y'all, when we started this stream, this is where we left off, kinda. We also worked a little bit on wireframes, but eventually this is coming. I just figured, as a web developer, it might be better for me to actually develop a website on stream. You know how sometimes you be developing websites on stream? Anyway, so I want to make a section for those products so that people can purchase them. I also want to be talking about these live streams a little bit, including posting the extended community guidelines, the schedule for my upcoming programming, how people can subscribe to the mailing list, and a VOD library. And then you've got the classics, like the About page and the Contact page. I also do want to add some user functionality eventually, which, fun fact about that, I was just telling my good friend Jamie right before the stream, but I actually met with somebody from ChillHop who, I wanted to ask them how they built their website up, because I noticed that they were also using WordPress at that point. And the guy that I connected to was absolutely awesome. He gave me a quick tour around. Obviously, he didn't share with me any confidential stuff, but he just gave me a good idea of where to get started with that. So I'm hoping that eventually I can implement that into my own stream. Anywho, that's what we're doing. Last week, what y'all missed by not reading my mind and finding a way to watch my live stream even though I wasn't live streaming is I was kind of doing the boring part of it. Before last week when we streamed, we were looking at the ways that I could update my branding very subtly. Because this is not a full redo of my brand. This is just going to be a slight upgrade while I wait to be able to afford the person that I want to actually do my rebrand. So before, I was going by like 3 different fonts in my typography suite. I was doing Acier Bat Solid, Open Sans, and then PT Sans. Now, baby, we're all General Sans all the time. All General Sans all the time. No exceptions. And we're doing that because it's close enough to Acier Bat that it'll still match my logo without like actually being Acier Bat. We're not making any changes to my color palette for now. But what we are doing is we're going to be playing around with a Meganav. Now, Meganavs, they're not like new on the scene necessarily, but I have been noticing like more need for them lately, and I've been noticing that they are becoming increasingly common. Which a Meganav is essentially if you don't have just a couple of links that you want to send people to, like I do on my current site. Let me see if I can pop it up. Wow, look, it's my website. Anyway, so cool. Okay, sorry, real quick. So I did an SVG for my favicon up here, and the reason why I did an SVG is because SVGs are a image file type that is rendered as code rather than as pixels. And the reason why I did that is exactly for the situation that we're looking at right now. So at times, people will enable dark mode on their browsers, in the DOM of a website, so on and so forth. Sometimes it comes down to personal preference, sometimes it comes down to legitimate like visual impairments. So when that happens and you have an image that's rendered pixel by pixel rather than as code, like as something that's essentially saying draw a line here, now draw a line here, now draw a line here, and make it this color. Instead of actually making the color contrast in such a way that people can still read it, it will keep the color that's within the actual image. This is especially bad if, let's say, you have an email signature, and in your email signature, it's a black logo. Somebody changes their email to dark mode, and now they can't see your signature. That's the case where you would use an SVG instead of a PNG. That's exactly what I did for my favicon. And as we can see, even though typically my favicon is colored black, on this browser, which is in dark mode, it's being colored white. So, there you go. Yes! Hi, Nicole, I miss you! Yes, you are the one that I want to eventually afford to redo my branding from scratch. So don't worry, I'm not going forward and doing my branding without you. I could never. I could never. By the way, everybody, Nicole Juniper. If you need branding, go to Nicole Juniper. You can actually find Nicole Juniper at behance.com/Nicole Juniper. I believe, if I'm not mistaken. There she is. She's so pretty. Wow. Look at this stuff. I love this yum yum stuff that you did. Like, damn. Do I want to start a ramen shop? I feel like I want to start a ramen shop. Anyway, moral of the story is, go to Nicole Juniper for your branding. And also use SVGs. Y'all should tell me in chat if you can still see my stream, because OBS is telling me that you cannot. Anywho, we're back to it. So, the way that I started that out was I was talking about mega navigations versus simple navigations. I am now finding myself in a position where I might be able to benefit from a mega navigation, because it would be a lot to put services and products and office hours and Discover Sonder all in the same line. So instead, I can use a hamburger icon right here. Yes! Beautiful, thank you. So instead I'm using this hamburger icon right here, a couple of other icons to indicate that you can contact me or that you can log into your account. And then they can expand that and see all of the different places that they can go. So that's what we're doing here. Sound good? Sound great. So I'm thinking now we're going to get started on wireframes, and a lot of the work that's going to be done today isn't going to be design work necessarily, it's going to be just blocking work, like the what do I even want to put on my website work, you know? Okay, so let's start with the homepage. Typically, the philosophy that I follow with homepages is that a homepage is supposed to be A, an introduction to you and your services, and B, a portal to all the different other relevant places on the site that the user can go to. So this is also the place where you kind of want to educate the user on how to use your website. And what I mean by that is that oftentimes people have just a shared knowledge of how the web works. In fact, a lot of times when you're talking to people who are in an older generation, you will get frustrated with them because things that you find intuitive, they are not on the up and up about. And that's because throughout your life, you've already gone through the training of knowing that the mail icon means email and that the person icon means user profile. Whereas typically with people in other generations or people who don't often use computers, they haven't gone through that common training. And that's a really overt example of like training a user how to use your website. They don't need, typically, people don't need the training to know that the envelope means contact us or send an email. However, there might be little minute things on your website that they do need training on. For instance, if it's a e-commerce site, they may need some sort of training as to how to access their cart or how to add things to cart. And so there are a couple of different ways that you can tackle that. You can add like an add to cart button. You can add sliders for how much of a quantity that you want for things. It's little things that you don't think of until you're designing the site and you realize that you need a way to communicate to the user. This is how you use the site in order to get what you want. And that's relevant from everywhere from e-commerce, which is by and large just a good example for a lot of UX and UI functionality on websites, to something as simple as me, where it's more of a portfolio-based website, although eventually I will be getting into the e-commerce element of it. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I want to use the homepage to teach people how to find my services, how to learn more about my live streams, and how I can help them. So, I can start with a basic intro, and I'm going to go side by side with my current site, because it'll at least provide a good reference point. So, I can provide an intro. This is my elevator pitch. This is the, what do you do successfully? Quickly. Once upon a time, this was enough. It is no longer enough. I no longer specialize in just WordPress sites, although usually that's what I end up going with anyway. And this used to say small business owners. I don't want this to just be small business owners anymore. In fact, I want it to be small to medium business owners. Potentially even large someday. Who knows? And I actually, I don't know if this is something I'm going to tackle with this iteration of the website or with a future iteration of the website, but I want to start funneling small business owners towards my digital products because I want my digital products to service them rather than me personally servicing them. And I want to start funneling middle to large size business owners to my services. Because by and large, for the most part, small business owners I've found are very interested in DIY solutions with a little bit of consulting on the side. So why not give them exactly that? Let's see what the audience thinks. WordPress is an accessible, powerful tool that your business could be using to... Yeah, I don't want it to be so WordPress-centric anymore. So anyway, that's the intro. I'm also going to add in a note here of... I am also doing this a little bit out of order. My good friend Julie Nichols of Julie Nichols Marketing was kind enough to hook me up with a DIY branding kit. that I'm going to be using to reorient my messaging and stuff like that. Um, and obviously, that DIY branding kit would inform a lot of the ways that I craft my messaging on this website. But I'm doing the wireframes first because, hey, why do things the right way? You know? But what I want to emphasize here, and it's something that I put on my About page recently, is digital freedom. Like, the main pitch that I make to small business owners is that I don't want you to be beholden to me to keep your website up and running, which is why I like to pair people with WordPress or with Squarespace or what have you. Because those are tools that, even if clunky, even if not the most efficient on the market, even if not always the cheapest, they are the best typically for owners who need to have some ownership, or businesses who need to have some ownership or some claim or some autonomy over their website, because it's an ecosystem where you have a lot of developers that are working in the same space, and as long as you have at least some semblance of documentation, another developer could easily pick it up for them. So that's the pitch that I make to these business owners, and it's what's been, I like to think, and maybe I should run a survey on it, but I think it's one of the better selling points that I tend to have with these business owners. So a lot of the stuff that I'm putting on this About page is stuff that I would eventually like to put on the home page. And then what's next? What's the second thing that I want people to know about me? Currently on my website, it's all of the features of the websites that I build. I don't think that I want to do that anymore because I want my services and my offerings first and foremost. But what comes first, my services or my products? I don't have products right now, so services it is. I also need to update this. I especially need to update graphic design because technically yes, but also kind of no. And then pricing I want to put on a different page. So let's do services. Let's do products. And then as for the features, I'll put that on the services page. And then actually, between those two, I want to put a CTA. Because ideally at this point, you've seen all that you need to see to either learn more or to commit. And then after that, I want to talk about office hours. And then after that, frequently asked questions I'm not going to keep on the home page. Probably go shopping around for some testimonials. Contact I'm going to have on a completely different page. I think that does it for the home page for me. Yeah. 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 Okay. So, first off, services, offerings, and solutions. Do I want those to be two separate pages or do I want it to be one page? Right now in the mega nav, I really only go into the offerings. Maybe I'll start there and I'll revisit the idea of solutions later, because I'm not entirely sold on it. So again, I'll do a standard intro. That intro will probably have a subnav. But where? Where are you? Oh! Found it. And then, next up, and ideally in web development is where I talk about how cool my websites are. So let's just take this. Put it here. Nope. It's not what I wanted you to do, when you know that. You know that. Stuff is web maintenance. Also going to put a note here to say about hosting plus plugins used. I'm taking graphic design out. I'm just not a graphic designer. As much as it is my passion. We're also not doing the CTA yet. And let's talk about marketing automation. didn't even know you were here. Everybody, my friend Mark, who is a data specialist galore, he sets up like customized Google Analytics and stuff like that, was able to stop by today, but unfortunately he can't stay with us for the remainder of the stream. But if you need custom Google Tag Manager analytics, Mark is your guy. I also want to take this moment in the stream to remind Jennifer that I definitely want you to show this stream to your parents and see how confused they get. Nothing would bring me more joy. Okay, so we got the biggies. We've got web development, website maintenance, consultation, and marketing automation. Of course, Mark, take it easy. And that's the services page, for now anyway. One more thing I need to add to this maintenance is show all packages plus pricing. Okay, what was the next one on the roster? Products. Yeah, we'll do products some other day. It's probably not going to be ready by the time the rehash of the site goes live either way, so. Okay, oddly enough, I think office hours is going to end up being a couple of different pages. Because I don't like the idea of the stuff that I have planned for it to all be on one page. So, we're going to do let's do sign up for the mailing list first. And then we'll do catch a past live stream. And then we're going to do the content calendar. And then let's do the join now / community guidelines. And then we'll do CTA for services. Let's also put some highlights here. I've been playing around with the idea of possibly doing clips. The only thing that's stopping me is that I genuinely just don't know if I have enough clips yet to justify it. But just like little snippets. You know. So the thing about the sign up page is that technically I already have it, but it's kind of shampoo-y. It's a little bit doo-doo. And it's definitely broken. Simple enough, what could go wrong, except for the margin is off. Why is the margin so off? And oh look, the margin is still off. Look at the words, they're all the way over here. I hate it. Okay, so that's the sign up page. And let's do a VOD page. And I can't imagine that the VOD page is going to be that different from just a general blog archive. I might get a little fancy with it, but how fancy can a fella get, you know? Part of me wants to like go all the way with it and overcook it to the extreme, and then part of me wants to make something that is serviceable enough and that I never have to touch. There are two wolves inside me. One that wants to do all of the work and one that wants to do none of it. My business coach is also telling me that I need to do a channel trailer, which she's not wrong. She's also telling me that I should look into live streaming on LinkedIn, which, you know? Okay, so what's a project I worked on recently where I actually hashed out the archive in the wireframe itself? Oh my gosh, is that... Okay, so I did do it here. Are these the original designs for Widowhood Recovery as designed by the wonderful Nicole Juniper of Nicole Juniper Design? That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, Jamie, LinkedIn does do live streaming. But, like, I have to imagine it's like Facebook live streaming, and, like... My big thing is that, one, who freaking to go on to LinkedIn, linkedin.com, to watch a live stream? You know what I'm saying? And then, two, what kind of controls are there for, like, a LinkedIn live stream? You feel me? And like, who's ever gonna sponsor a LinkedIn live stream? Now, I'm not saying that any idiot would ever make the decision to sponsor me, but like, can I please just pretend for a moment? For a moment. That's not a video ratio. This is a video ratio. I also don't know if there needs to be, like, a filter attached to this, so I suppose we don't need to do this, like, 2-column sort of deal. We could just go all the way across. Although there probably should be, like, a search bar and a date filter up there. Yeah, that's video ratio. It's too much space. It's too many slices. Yeah. Yeah. And then we'll get the pagination up here. And then we'll do a, we'll do a search bar. Let's just make that 1.5. Why not? Get a little spicy with our line weights here. You know how we be doing that. Yeah. Okay, so here's what the bane of my existence is at the moment. I can't search for icons here. I can't. There's no Control F to search all of the frames. Maybe there... You know what? Shut up. I didn't know that, okay? I'm foolish. What I am is a fool. But okay, so what's the icon with the magnifying glass called? Because one would think that it's called magnifying glass. And here we are. That's so dumb. Wow, I'm really disappointed in you. Let's just get a nice little rectangle with some rounded edges. Make it look like a button or something. Here we go. It almost looks like a UI. Crazy. Okay, last but not least, I want to direct them to the schedule for live streaming. And then also I want to direct them to the sign up. I don't think I'll make any overt CTAs that direct them to the community guidelines, just because, I mean, obviously I want people to know how to behave themselves, but I'm also planning on baking it into my welcoming sequence, so I want it to be available, but, like, I don't want to push it. Let's also get all of this nonsense into a section together. Okay, what else do we need? Oh, we need the content calendar. Let's just go ahead and copy this. So, this one I feel like I need a little bit of inspo for, because, I mean, there are multiple different ways that you can, Jesus with all these gnats. There are a couple different ways that I can show a calendar. I can show it as an actual calendar, or I could show it as a list of events. And in this case, I think it's more about, like, what's appealing to the eye. So, where do I want to go to look this up? I do love a good grid. However, that's not necessarily a format that's going to work for this, because when I'm talking about these, when I'm talking about the curriculum, when I'm talking about these events, I'm not putting on buttons with the hopes that people will click on them and, like, register for the event or anything like that. I simply want to inform them of what's going on. And this column type grid is one that's built to lead you to a landing page with more information. Whereas I don't want to waste the user's time on my website. I want to just let them have the information right there. So, I mean, another way that I can do it is I can do a similar thing that I ended up doing with, I don't think it made it to the wireframes, but I did a similar thing with Widowhood Recovery. Oh, is it .org? No, it's .net. I'm foolish. Never mind, it's .org. Okay, so with Widowhood Recovery, they have one program right now. It's called Moving Towards Better. And within that one program, they have a series of events. So I could do something like this, where I do one column that explains it, and then columns underneath listing the dates. I think I like that. I think that's what I'm going to do. Jesus. Hello. Yeah. Yeah, good job, me. I really am. I'm cooking with this one. I'm really doing it. Everybody clap. Thank you. Thank you for clapping. I'm very brave. And then for all of the series following that, I think I'm just gonna have it be like a sort of banner thing with a expand button of some sort. Yes, this is a very respectable VOD wireframe. Except for that it's not a VOD wireframe, it's a schedule wireframe. Okay, and last but not least, the community guidelines. Just gonna be a big old thing of freaking text. It's not that complicated. But I think I'm gonna have like a pop out little contact form that they can fill out to report/give feedback. Okay. And that's office hours. What else? Oh yeah, the About Me. Boy oh boy, I can't wait. Okay, don't tell nobody, but I'm thinking for this section, I'm gonna rip off what a brilliant content writer did for another website that I worked on. So I'm gonna look up the wireframe for that. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Aha! There we go. Values, mission, about, testimonials. Okay. And then, was there stuff on the homepage that I also wanted to put here? Oh, you know what? FAQ. No, the FAQ would probably be better on the services page now that I think about it. You know what? Why not both? And then next up, my portfolio. So a couple of weeks ago on the stream, we were looking up a bunch of different portfolios from a bunch of different websites, because my portfolio is hands down the worst part of my current site. It's icky, it's gross, I hate it, ew, burn it in a fire. So ideally, with the portfolio, I would do the portfolio archive and a portfolio landing page, which shows details about what I did for that particular client. So let's go back to some of our inspo. You know know, there was a portfolio that I really liked that I saw the other day, but now it escapes me. I did also see this ad on LinkedIn, which I think is a good idea for a portfolio. The thing that I kept getting stuck on when I was working on my portfolio back in the day is that I have, in my current branding, I have a very heavy emphasis on iconography. So I thought it would be too jarring to put, like, previews and screenshots of my clients' websites on actual devices, because it would be the only time on the website that you would see like a realistic element. And I think that this in particular, this design, did a really good job of striking a balance. So it's just a matter of how do I want to preview this stuff. This is very interesting. Doing it as a grid and putting the name, but not necessarily putting any of the branding. Let's see, what was this again? So the only thing that I don't like about this is that there are a lot of indicators as to where I could click to get to the landing page, but none of them are taking me to the landing page. But I do like that hover effect. So I think I will end up going with the grid. Go. Yeah. Simple enough. Okay, so for the landing page itself, let's say project name, tag, tag, tag. There we go. So we'll have this banner with the project name, all of the different services that I provided for them, a short description, and a link to the full site. And then underneath, we're going to have and this is where we blatantly steal from that LinkedIn ad. Let's see, we'll have 2 page previews, 2 banner previews, 1 mobile and 1 tablet. And then it'll be like a masonry grid. Hmm. You know what? I did a mobile horizontal preview, but why would they care about that? Hmm. Could fill in the gaps with some patterning. That's assuming the client has patterning, so maybe that's a wash. We could do 2 separate banners. And then 1 page. We could also do 2 mobiles flanked by a tablet. I don't know, I might need to let this one sit. Hmm. Oh, interesting. This is a slider. Or maybe it's not? So what I'm looking at right now is I'm trying to find the way that they keep it visually engaging to show like their desktop previews, their laptop previews, their mobile previews. It seems like for this one they just stack them one on top of the other. And maybe that's it. Maybe, yet again, I find myself overcooking. Yeah, see, Jamie, I love coming back to this website because it's so crazy awesome. You know? I'm gonna let this sit. I'm gonna let it sit. I'm gonna let it cook. And then the very last thing is to do the contact page, which I'm not going to do anything special on. I'm literally just going to do the standard address, phone number, contact form. Doesn't need to be fancy, doesn't need to be special, just needs to be serviceable. Okay, and those are the wireframes. Now it's time to dig in and do the actual gosh dang designs. And this is the part where I spend a lot of time just looking at my screen and going, interesting. Yes, quite. As much as I want to copy them on everything, I don't think that I can copy Milk Ink on this. Let's look at our other references. What about these guys? Oh, yeah, I didn't really like this. It's interesting, though. So one thing that I was thinking about to mess around with, like, my current branding is instead of doing this, like, accent bar, what if I did, like, half and half, like, one side is a color, another side is, content, you know? So, like... this would be... Okay, does black on blue pass the sniff test? It does. Let's do title. Hmm. Did I make button styles over here? I don't think that I did. Eh. Some other time. Okay, so what kind of imagery do I want to use on my site? I could keep going with the heavy emphasis on iconography. At the end of the day, it's gonna bite me in the ass. Sunny's trying to steal the mitt that I used to help her shed her fur. She doesn't like it, but Sunny Bunny. It's okay, I still love you. But this is not yours. I mean, it is yours, but not yours to destroy. It is a tool for healing. My patience. Anyone want to say hi to Sunny? Let's see if I can trick her. Hi. Come closer. Yes. 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 Time for the scoopy. Scoopity poopity. Here's the Sunny Bunny. Everyone say hi to the Sunny Bunny. Thank you. She is miserable right now. She doesn't like it here. She would rather leave. And that's too bad. I love you. What if you just came and chilled with me? No, it's okay. She kind of looks like a Momo. When you think about it, she could be a Momo. Here. You need to stand so that the camera can see you. We love her. She hates it here, but we love her. I love you. This is what happens when you try to destroy my things. I threaten you with fame. Alright. Be free. Oh. Be free. Bye. 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 Bye-bye. There she goes. Alright, we were designing a website. Am I right or am I right, fellas? What's the one that I currently have up on the site? This one? Where did the stroke go? Bruh. The heck? Okay, let's try a different one. Where's the stroke? Okay, so that you guys know what I'm talking about. I have this whole folder with a bunch of stuff that I grabbed from Glad Icon forever ago. And you'll see here that all of them have, like, a black stroke to them. And yet, for some reason, when I drag them over here... Okay, whatever the fuck. Fine. Fine. I didn't want to not look like a fool anyway. Okay, so pretty please. I don't know why, I don't know what I did, I don't know what I did to you. Okay. You know what? Because here's what I wanted to do. I wanted to... All right. Let's just bring in web analytics again, even though it's not even a little bit applicable. I wanted to... like, mute all of the other colors. Except for the outline. I know there's a simpler way to do this. I know that for a fact. But we're already here, fellas. Okay. Only thing remaining is the outline, right? I want to drag this over here and make the outline something different. And then I wanted to blow it up big time. I'm like, roar, crazy. It's so big. And then also like add a clipping mask. Put it down here. Maybe down the opacity. Give it like just a little bit of intrigue, just a little bit of suspense. But see, if it's pulling in everything except for the outline, then what am I supposed to do with that? I mean, obviously I don't want to go with the web analytics icon. Because I don't do web analytics. I'm not about that life anymore. Wait. I simply don't know. And it grinds my gears, if I'm being honest. Really salts my apples. When everything except for the outline shows up. Really skadoos my blue. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of interesting. That's like all cute and pastel and stuff. This might be the one. I'm pretty sure that I've used this before on social media posts. Let's put this at 80%. Actually 60%. How does that convey manageable websites, though? This I've definitely used for an announcement. Gosh dang it, I love it when it's isometric. I'm gonna leave it there for now. Now let's do some bragging. What can I brag about? Oh, also. figure I can cheese it a bit. Last time I checked, my project count was at like 70 plus or something. Now, not all of those were under the Sonder Studios brand, but I still made them, so, you know. What could be a third thing that I brag about? What are the people interested in? What do they want to know about my experience? I'm gonna circle back to this. Okay, that's what I thought. Here we are working out our bun stylings now. That is definitely not how you spell tertiary. But whatever. Here we go again. Alright, fellas. It's past my bedtime. So, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. We got so much done, and I'm so proud of all of us. Look, we got all of our wireframes done. We made a couple button styles. We got started on the home page. Wow. We're really special, guys. I really think that we did something here today. We really did. So until next time, just keep on keeping on. And if you can't keep on keeping on, then fake it. And if you can't fake it, then take a nap and drink some water. And that's all I've got for you. Have a fantastic day.